We hope that the peacock wars are over now and settled.
You heard right, peacock wars, a new plan to tackle the peacock problem in Solano County, but it comes at a cost to taxpayers. A lot to get to tonight. Thanks so much for joining us for the CBS 13 News at 5. I'm Tony Lopez.
And I'm Marley Gentry. We want to start in Fairfield, where the battle over those birds has dragged on for years now. Tension so high, some people have even come to blows over them. The city says there are close to 100 peacocks living in and around the Rolling Hills area. That's the spot you're looking at right now. CBS 13's Madison Keevy is there live with what the city now plans to do to bring down that bird population. Madison.
Yeah, take a little walk in this neighborhood. It's quiet tonight. You don't see much. You might hear something, and it looks like your normal neighborhood. How could this lead to a war? But if you look up on the rooftops, you start to see this neighborhood isn't what it seems.
You have to get to know their personalities. I can tell them apart by their personalities.
In Fairfield's Rolling Hills neighborhood, everybody's got a story.
And I have one I call Hobo because his feathers are always askew, and so I call him Little Hobo Harry.
There's one that I've raised that's from an egg, and it was abandoned.
You'll see the characters in these stories in the street, on the fence, or just passing by. Peacocks, dozens of them.
It's no worse than a dog.
That's what some people think, that the dozens of wild birds roaming freely should be left alone. They'll tell you the birds were here first.
The property there was an old ranch. The woman, before she passed away, she donated the house and the ranch to the city of Fairfield. But along with that came some peafowl.
That was then. This is now. Another group of passionate neighbors, backed by city council, want the birds gone.
Some people hate them, and some people can't live without them.
The compromise: 50 peacocks will continue to call Fairfield home. The rest will be humanely trapped and rehomed. The company tasked with the job explains what they're in for.
We have these large traps that are 10 by 10 feet. They can house several birds at a time. And then we always work with the homeowners to make sure that they call me for same-day pickup.
The work will cost taxpayers $400 per bird.
I'm fine with controlling the population, but I don't want to see them all gone. I love them.
That's the sound we hear and see tonight, even as the sun is setting. And as we've talked over the last minute of that story, there's now what I'm looking at about a dozen just in this cul-de-sac alone. The question, though, from some was, are they dangerous? I myself, as a kid, was at a park in the Central Valley and had both geese and peacocks kind of come up and I'd say attack, which sounds dramatic, but this is something that these animals can do. And an expert tells me it's likely a lot of the times because children are about the same size as these birds. So there are a lot of times where a peacock of this size you see coming down the street may mistake or try to assert its territory over a child. And that's the concern for neighbors that want to see dozens of these peacocks moved out of this neighborhood. You guys, you can see this one just walking. It's its home.
I've heard they're attracted to bright red, much like a bull. So I'm not sure what color you're wearing. Oh, wait a second. No. Okay, so Madison, seriously, though, the peacock's going to be captured. Do we know where they're going to end up?
So that is part of this process. Only 50 are going to be staying in this area. That means that a few dozen are going to need to go to different ranches and safe havens. That is going to be the job of the third-party company from Southern California that will be humanely removing these. They have partners that they work with, and actually there's places all over the state that take care and raise peacocks so that they can roam freely without having impacts like you see in this neighborhood here tonight.
Yeah. Marley was pointing out how beautiful and colorful they look. Now's the time we tell her you cannot take one home.
No, I guess I won't be able to.
All right, Madison, thank you.